Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kremer, and today we are going to talk about inspiration and where we can go to find inspiration. Let's see if I can find myself on my tablet so I can interact with you. That's half the fun. Actually, that's all the fun of doing live videos. Oh dear, I'm not finding myself. Hold on. Let me keep looking. I'm sure I'm here somewhere. Hold on. Should be right there. And it's not. Let me go out and come back in. See, somebody has joined me already. Thank you. Okay. One more minute. So we're talking about paper pumpkin. I can tell I really like a paper pumpkin when there we are. When I immediately put it together. When I start stamping and, let me get this out of the way. Hello, thank you for joining me. So I got my paper pumpkin last week, I forget what day, and I knew it was going to be Christmas card themed. So we're here on Facebook. I will upload this to YouTube if all goes well. I hope you know where to find me online. So that's that. Hello. All right, so this is the box. Isn't it beautiful? I love the color. Normally paper pumpkin is more of an orangey red, and this is cherry cobbler. So, Melissa, I know you get paper pumpkin. Have you put yours together yet? Maybe you can help me answer some of these questions I have about it. So every kit comes, this is not going to be a paper pumpkin commercial, by the way, but I do want to show you what this kit came with, because it's going to help you understand how it inspired me. So every kit comes with full colored pictures, and they give you some instructions. If you have to cut ribbon or twine, they give you a ruler. I thought that was pretty funny. So all you need are scissors, and I'll show you some of the things. So here are the two cards that I like to make at least one card as they suggest. And so here are the two cards of Merry Christmas with floral arrangement, and then a wreath that says joy. Which, the interesting thing about this kit, it was international. I think they're going to get it in other countries besides Canada. I think they get it too. I don't know. I pay attention to the US, not other countries. But the words peace, joy, and love came in French and German. And so you may have seen Facebook groups, Joy to the World, I think this was called. And they were encouraging us to get pen pals in different languages. So that was what that was about. So the first thing that I love about paper pumpkin is you get a stamp set. And Melissa, this is my question for you. Is this stamp set bigger than normal? I think it is. So we have a beautiful wreath that we did have to stamp. And then usually it's just the words like to the world, and this Merry Christmas is from here. These other stamps aren't used in the kit as they suggest you make the cards. And I find it a lot of fun. I do enjoy, I should say, using these other stamps, like this flower. That's really not a Christmas flower. It's not a poinsettia. And they do have it on this card, but I didn't use it in the samples I have to show you. But I love the stamps, and I get excited every month more about the stamps than the rest of it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, okay, the inspiration I found in these cards were three things: the colors, the layouts, and then I always look for a technique in the card. So we're going to leave those cards out as we go through them and we talk about it. Stamps are larger. I'm not sure if there are more. Oh, that's true. This wreath is quite a large stamp for a paper pumpkin. Usually it's just the words, but anyway. So the colors in this kit, and this is where my inspiration started, were Just Jade, Soft Seafoam, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso. I kind of like it best with Very Vanilla. They happen to put Whisper White. So those are our colors. I'm going to leave that there because I think that's beautiful. So how did this inspire me? Obviously, the first one that came to my mind was the wreath. And we have in the annual catalog this stamp set, Arrange a Wreath, and then the coordinating dies. The stamp set's on page 127. The wreath builder dies are also on page 173. And so you can see this wreath is much bigger than that one. But still, you could make a card like this if you have these, and this stamp and these dies and whatever. So that's the first thing. And I didn't make one of those. That is, I have other ideas to show you. So the kit is no longer available. I happen to have an extra. And again, Melissa, I don't know when I can sell it. So that's a question that maybe you know the answer to. And if you're interested in purchasing another full kit from me, let me know and I'll find out when I can sell it. I might be able to because it's not available anymore. So one of the first things I noticed was the background. And stamping gold or embossing in gold on crumb cake is not something I thought to do. So I played around, and I don't know if you can tell that this is embossed in gold. Maybe if I tilt it just right, you could see it is. And I'll show you the stamp set this came from. I believe it is called Tasteful Touches. I believe that's in the annual catalog. So that was one thing, and I obviously haven't made a card out of that. So the gold on crumb cake was one idea. And then I thought the lines, and I have the So Inviting, and these lines are one stamp. This stamp here is just the two lines. And I used my Stamparatus and made this. Not quite the same as that, but still, you get the lines. If I had used crumb cake embossed in gold, it would look much more like that background. So that's another inspiration. Let me put these out of the way. I have a second box here. So another idea is, what if you love this card and want to make it, but you don't have the kit? So what could you use to make this? And so I have, so that's the same card. I didn't realize I had two. So this is my version of that card. So I used, and it's not all current, I apologize. Let me get my stack here. All right. So let's start with the background. I used the Textured Essentials, and I'm sorry I don't have the page numbers. I'll have it on my blog tomorrow. There is an index in the back of our annual catalog, actually the mini catalog as well. So you could look up Textured Essentials, and I used this, and I embossed it in gold. So that was my background. I don't know if you can see. If I tilt it just right, I think you can. All right, the flowers, like I said, I wanted to use current products. So the flowers are from the Prized Peony. I used this flower and the two leaves and the coordinating dies. No, that's not it. This one, Peony. I guess they're just called the peony dies. To cut those out, so that's where the leaves and the two peonies came from. The peonies I stamped in our cherry cobbler, and then I used a Wink of Stella brush to pull out color from the ink, the stamped image. I didn't quite like the look of that on the leaves, so that's the Just Jade. And then I used ink from the lid of the pad to color in some of the leaves. And then I wanted more of this like filler stuff behind it. So I used the now retired Pretty Pines Thinlits to get these evergreen, which I did in the soft sea foam. And then I found some other ideas. The Sounds of the Season dies on page 33 of the mini catalog have evergreen dies. The North Pole Wonder dies on page 32 have sprigs. And the poinsettia dies also have sprigs that you could use. So look at what you have that you could use. All right, so the white square here and rectangle there are embossed. I don't know if you can see that on there. So I use, on this sample, I use the textile embossing folder. I think I need, hello, thank you for joining me. I see more people. I'm so busy talking, I forget to look over and see. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Melissa's going to see if I can actually sell the extra paper pumpkin kit I have. So the Christmas blessings to you came from the Wrapped in Christmas. That's in the mini catalog. I use the peony. You could also use, my first idea was the wild rose, because there are dies that coordinate with that. So that would have been another option for our large flower on that. This twine came with it, the kit obviously. We don't actually have white twine, so I used our, I don't know if I have it here in my box, I don't, our linen thread, and then I used ink from my cherry cobbler ink pad on a sponge, and I just pulled the string, the linen thread through to color this twine, and it dried very quickly. I was surprised. So I think that's everything. Oh, the gold. It says there's a gold banner here, and so the gold came from the brushed metallic cardstock that's in the mini catalog on page 45, and this comes, I don't know if you can see, sorry for all the glare, but that's kind of the idea. This is bronze, copper, and gold, and I think I do have the gold there on that to mimic the gold banner there. Did I get everything on there? They didn't have any sequins or pearls or any rhinestones. That would have been pretty. I think I would have liked some small gold something or another. But anyway, so this is the paper pumpkin kit, and this is my version of it. So I had a lot of fun going through my all my dies and stamps and trying to figure out how I could make this card with current product. All right, moving on. We're going to leave the cards here, the original ones. So using our color scheme, well, let's back up a little. So with this card, obviously the wreath is the focal point there. And what I did here was I just stamped the wreath that came in the kit with jade, just jade, and then I used this little one. You can see it, they often get stained with the red, the berries. So I used those two to create these. And of course, I wasn't going to fussy cut, so I had some, where are my samples? Sorry. I thought they were right here. Oh, here they are. So my ideas to cut out the wreath, I used just plain circles, circle dies. You could use punches. This one, I used the scallop, not a scallop, starburst circle for the middle, and then I have a large scallop circle for the outside. I wish I had the large starburst. I think that would be about the right size, although I don't have it. So, and this one is the scallop circle for the middle, and then the same large scallop circle for to cut it out. Just like this. Here, I'll show you what I did. So you punch, so I just stamped in with the just jade and the cherry cobbler. So you punch out the middle. I put it to the side so it's not quite so loud. And then I thought this looked pretty good. Line it up as best you can. And that's how I punched that one out. So that would be a nice addition to a card. Let's see, hold on, I don't want to drop these punches on my card. And then, alright, so let's talk about the color scheme. So I have a few cards to show you. Let's see, get this, that's for later. Alright, so using this color scheme, I came up with some non-Christmas cards. And don't worry, we are going to make a card. So how are we doing on time? Alright, good. Hello, thank you for joining me. This one I finished without words. I don't often have cards without words, but I kind of like it. I could add a sentiment later. Alright, so the stamps on this one, again, this is the same colors, the cherry cobbler. I used Very Vanilla and the Early Espresso. To stamp the sprig here, which I used these two stamps, from Tasteful Touches. I need a drink of water. I had some copper paint. It's very much like our white and champagne paint. And I literally used a brush to brush it onto the stamp and then stamped a couple times. And then I think this was my first stamp. I like that best, even though it's a little sloppy, but I kind of like it. I don't know if you can see, I splattered some of the copper paint onto the card as well. So, and then I have some copper trim. And then I did coordinate the inside because of the dark cardstock you wouldn't be able to see on. So I put that in there. So there's one idea with the color scheme. The next one, I guess I did make a Christmas card using the Snowfront stamp set. So we have the Evergreen Hill, the deer, the trees. I guess I just used this one a few times. The snowman and the cabin. Oh boy. For the snow, can you tell there's snow in there? We still have snow on the ground here in Minnesota. It's October. Anyway, I do have some white dye ink that I used with this. You could emboss it white, but I just wanted something subtle. And there's that gold ribbon. I know we've talked about that recently. And that Merry Christmas came from For Unto Us, which is in the mini catalog. I think this is a beautiful stamp set. I saw a card recently with Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and then they used musical theme for the card. So I still have the recently retired music stamp set, so I'll be making some Christmas cards with that. All right, I think I have one more card to show you, and then we'll put a card together. This is a nice layout. If you have lots of Designer Series paper, since it's on sale this month, you might have bought some more. It uses strips, 1-inch by 4-inch strips of Designer Series paper. Obviously 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it just layers so nicely on the card. So that's 1-inch by 4-inch. These pieces are. And then I just alternated them and turned these around because I had a long strip from a 12-inch. This is from a 12-inch. That's from a 6-inch. And I just coordinated it. Again, that's Just Jade and Early Espresso. And then I have some more of that gold on there. And I did use this stamp set for my saying and the feather. And then I coordinated, and I did fussy cut that by hand. I wish I had thought of this one instead, Positive Thoughts, because there are dies that coordinate with this, and I had a die for that feather, but it wasn't that big a deal to fussy cut those leaves. And that one is fussy cut too, even though I had an extra one. I didn't know how many I'd need. So those are my ideas using this color scheme on a card. And then I love the layout of this card with the Designer Series paper. All right, so we are going to make, let's see, any questions? Melissa says she couldn't find anything on the demo site. Somebody is selling theirs. Melissa, I think it is. I think I can sell my extra paper pumpkin if somebody would like it. Makes beautiful cards. But let me know soon, because I will be using these as my Christmas cards for some of you this year. So using this, we're going to use the layout of the card to create another card. So I've talked about learning a technique. So that's the gold on the crumb cake. Using the color scheme. So be inspired by the color scheme. So my whole point of tonight is to help you find places to get more inspiration. And I want to share that Paper Pumpkin is a great place to go because there's always a different color scheme. And then if you look hard, you can find some technique on most of them. And then the card layout, they're always very fun to look through. All right, so I have it started. That's the same one. All right. So using our color scheme and this layout, I have a piece of crumb cake, and you get to help me decide how are we doing on time? Okay. I have pieces already cut here. So we are going to use crumb cake, and we're going to put a background on it. So you get to help me decide. I think I'm going to use, I've already embossed with, and this is 4x3, the Evergreen Forest embossing folder. It's on page 35 of the mini catalog, and it's a 3D one, so it's really sturdy, and it's, I don't know if you can tell. I wish you could feel it. You can tell. It's very detailed. It's very pretty. And I want the pieces on top of this, like the wreath on that one and the words, to be smaller. So I have die cut out of a bunch of shapes using the Tasteful Label dies and the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I believe those are all both in the annual catalog. And I have some smaller sizes, and so we're going to use that. So you need to help me decide which background do we want. Do we want dry brush, buffalo check, and then I have crackle paint. I don't have the stacked stones. So I want you guys to let me know which of these three should I use on my background, and I'll get that set up while you, I'll get the rest of the card, work on the rest while you tell me which one we should use in the background. And I think I will use Early Espresso. We're going to make it a dark background. All right. So as you guys decide, let me scroll up which background to use. Hopefully you can see those. In Early Espresso for this card. And then I have lots of ribbon to choose from, because I don't know exactly where we're going with this card. I was thinking of using the Nature's Beauty. I know we've used this a lot, but the rabbit and the fox might go nice with the evergreen on there. So let's see. Becky says dry brush. Melissa says buffalo check. Kathy says plaid. Hi, Paula. Let's see. Plaid. So we have a plaid, buffalo check, which is the plaid, and dry brush. So I have 2 for the plaid. We'll put that on top. See if anybody else chimes in. Sorry, Becky. I may have to make a separate card with the dry brush. The dry brush is really pretty. Maybe we'll do that next week. I used that with my Stamparatus and made it multicolored the other day. Let's see. I have to think about what colors we're using. I also have, where'd it go? I think I just put it down. We could do a scene like we did on that other card. Yeah, we'll do the hair. I'm thinking we'll do, using our card as our we're going to do the buffalo. Using this as our inspiration. So that'll be there. Oh, I don't know if I have any words. Sorry, let me dig through there, this would be nice. I have To a Wild Rose, has a nice hello in it. Let's get that out. And that would probably fit on this one. Or do we want different shapes? I think I want to alter the shapes. Rather than 2 ovals or 2 rectangles, I think we'll do that. I think we're going to do that. That's going to be on there. So now just to stamp this, and we'll be done with another card. I had a lot of fun working on these cards. I just pulled out a bunch of paper and my inks, and I need to slow down. All right, so this is how I use, have we seen this? Have I shown you this before? A large ink pad. Let's get some paper down here. I mean, a large stamp. Oh gosh, I get flustered when I don't have planned ahead of time what I'm doing. So I take my ink and put it right onto the stamp. It would be easier if I had it like on the Stamparatus, but that's right. This will work just fine. And a lot of it's going to be covered up too. So then I lay my card. And so this is going to be my front. So I'm going to turn it over and put it right in the corner. Cover it with a piece of scrap paper. You could use a brayer. You could just touch it in places if you didn't want the complete background. You want something a little more artistic. I want to make sure I get a good image there. And then you do get a little bit on that. Oh, perfect. I'm going to set that on my chamois. All right. And so here's our inspiration. Sorry, this is kind of a mess too. I have lots of ribbons here to choose from. If you really want me to use one, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just decide which one looks best. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and tie one of these. Oh, let's stamp first. And I do have my blocks. We're going to make this kind of, well, no, we're going to use crumb cake for our, I still haven't purchased a nice stamping table to do this on. Is this my crumb cake? All right. Well, that's from there. Crumb cake. Oh, that worked. I was a little surprised because it kind of gave. So there's our rabbit. Where's he a hare? I think he's a rabbit. Oh, that was close. All right. Then we're going to use the early espresso. Put our pieces here. Put our little hello. I'm just going to center it. That's nice. And we'll put our card together. Use the shiny ribbon. This one, Paula, the gold. That was part of the Christmas Time Is Here, I think. That was the bundle that this came out with. Let me know if that's the one you're thinking of. I'll put it together. Or were you thinking the twine that was in the, this is the mini catalog. I assume you mean this one. Paula, let me know if you don't mean this gold one. Because actually a couple of them are shiny. This copper's shiny too. But if I don't hear from you, we'll use that. Oh, that'll be very nice. All right, I have my adhesive. Excuse my reach. Put some, sorry, I can't use dimensionals and talk at the same time. I don't know why. So put some dimensionals on there. And this will go there. Sorry, I should put it your direction. And that will go there. Let me clean up some of my mess. I just make such a mess. And yep, we can go ahead and put our rabbit on. And I wish I had made this a birthday card, but I don't think I had birthday stamps handy. And I did want you to be able to see the evergreens there. All right, and I'm just going to tie a knot. Actually, I'm going to see some friends tomorrow that I haven't seen in a while, and one of them had asked for some cards, so maybe I will take this to her in the morning. I know people like my cards, but not everybody is interested in stamping. But so I am very happy to stamp for them. There we go. Sorry, I'm kind of doing things off camera. I don't mean to. So we're going to put that there. We're going to use dimensionals on that too. Lots of dimensionals. So that is my inspiration from the October paper pumpkin. We're going to put one more in the middle. So again, we've used the colors, we've used the layout, and then we found a technique on the in the kit that we could use on our cards as well. So even if you don't get paper pumpkin, I hope you do watch the videos. They're usually 2 minutes or something like that, just to see what the cards are and We're going to put this down so you can see more of that. And I kind of want to put that down there. There we go. So there's our last card. I guess it's not quite like that. Same idea. I don't know. I like it. I hope you do too. Happy stamping. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you found some inspiration tonight. Let's see if I can find the rest of my cards. Any questions? I can stay on a few minutes if you want to talk about anything or have questions. Let's see. I have to dig down in my box. Find all the cards I showed you. Again, this is my favorite one with the designer series paper. I bought a lot of designer series paper recently, and there's some wreaths. Wasn't there another card? Maybe that was all. There was one more. I can't find it right now. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. And I will be back next week with some more ideas to inspire you with. If you have any requests, of course, let me know what you would like to hear me talk about and show you. And I really enjoy spending time planning ahead and making lots of samples to show you. So again, thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. Have a great evening. Bye.